And we are live for the April 21st, 2026 training of Metro AI, also referred to as Broker Bot, B-O-T. This is Broker Bob here for the training. We have a few people online today. I like to first start out with some questions and answers and maybe some wins or fails, or if anybody has anything, have you been using Metro AI this week? And can you tell us any success story, failure story, or whatever? It's all good. Anybody who wants to be the first to share? How about show of hands, thumbs up if you haven't been using it and you're here to learn? Okay. So, Sarita, you haven't started using it yet, correct? Still kind of young in the business. You're probably not at that point where you want some stuff. All right. Well, let's get into the training today. So, today's training is focusing on some research I did about what are the top 10 AI prompts that real estate agents should be using in 2026. So because you guys have shown up today, I'm actually going to share that with you. So I'm going to drop into the chat box, a handout about the top 25. So the only way you're going to get it is if you go into the chat box and you show up to this meeting today. So it's in there right now, but I'm going to bring it up on the screen. So hold on one second. Oh, go away, little thing right there. I don't want to see you. Okay, so what I shared with you guys was this 10 generative AI prompts for real estate agents in 2026. It's important to remember that every prompt has to follow the five prompt structure, which is what is the role? In other words, who are you speaking of? Who are you? Are you a top real estate agent? Are you an agent specializing in 1031 exchanges, investment properties, condos, luxury buyers? Figure out what your role is. That's what you define as, and what's the context you want to speak them of. So the context is you want to talk about it as an authority in that subject, and you want to give it clarity on a certain item. Like maybe it's, for instance, I'm going to show you today, in the prompts that I created was I'm a specialist in the Savita market, which is a project here in San Diego Mission Valley, and that's who I want to speak to as my audience. Maybe you're a specialist in Del Cerro, or maybe you're a specialist in Rancho Santa Fe. That's the context. And then what's the task you want to give it? What exactly are you asking it to do? In other words, I want you to, here's the listing that I want you to talk about, and it's priced at this. Now I want you to help me write some versions for a description for the MLS or a 75-1 version word for Instagram or Zillow. And then what are the constraints? In other words, you don't want to elaborate too much. And I'm going to show you some of this stuff. And then what's the output format you want it to look like? So here's the ones that I'm going to do for you today. And the first one is an MLS listing description. So this one goes, act as a luxury real estate copywriter, writing for the MLS. I'm listing a insert. And so whenever you see brackets here, that means you're going to insert the information that you need. So give it the address, give it the bed, bath, the square footage, the style. Here's what I know about real estate agents. A lot of people don't know what style of a home that they're marketing or advertising. So if you have a picture of the front of the property, I would plug it into Metro AI and say, give me the style of this property, because it will give you a pretty good description and feedback, and it will help you in your marketing too. And I'm going to show you what my prompt was I created as well too. What are the key features of the property? You know you're bringing it to market, so you know, does it have a chef kitchen? Is there a primary suite with city views? Is there a pool? Is there an ADU? Give the location highlights. In other words, walkability, schools, dining, commute. Who's the ideal buyer? Remember, in your marketing and advertising, we've talked about this in the past. When you're doing any type of marketing and advertising on a specific property, you need to determine who that buyer is. So you're speaking the language to that buyer, because that's in the hook that's going to be created in all of your marketing and advertising. What's the hook? A hook is something that will speak to the buyer. So let's say the buyer is and I used this example last week, I'll use it again this week. The buyer is looking for a mid-century modern home because that's the style they like. So that's the ideal buyer, a person that wants a mid-century modern home. So the hook would be, for example, if this would be a caption or this would be the intro to a video I create. If you are looking for the best price mid-century modern home in San Diego, this one's for you. That's a hook. Or if you're looking for a mid-century modern home designed by, insert the name of the architect, this one's for you. Or if you're looking for a mid-century modern home that's near the coast, this one's for you. Again, think of who the buyer is and speak to that buyer. And then the output is you want them to write two versions, a 250 word MLS description with a strong opening hook. That's the hook I just talked about. Or a 75 short version for Instagram and Zillow headlines. Use active voice. No, these are the constraints. No cliches like must see, won't last, or nestled, because you don't know if it won't last. You don't know if it's a must see in the mind of that buyer. And do not invent features that I did not list. So let me go poll. I'm going to pull my class prompt that I created for this. And I went ahead and created it already. So now I'm going to go into Broker Bot and I'm going to plug all that in. So with mine, that's exact prompt. I gave it the description of the property. I gave it the address, and this is the listing I have currently that's in escrow. Click of a button. Let's see what we come up with and we'll review that. Hopefully it won't be on slow speed today. But you can see where it says thinking. Now, a lot of people will say, oh, BrokerBot seems to be a little slow today. Well, yeah, it is. Remember now, BrokerBot pulls from 199 other different large language models out there. So it does pull from ChatGPT, Claude, and Gemini. And so it's going to take some time to go back and pull, and then it cross-references everything once it comes up with stuff. So yes, sometime it will be a little slow. So I asked it to give me what was the output, a 250 word description with a strong opening hook, and a 75 word short version for Instagram and Zillow. A lot of people will go ahead and use the same version for each one of those. Now remember, each one of those has a different audience that will be looking at it. So let's see what it came up for version one. This is the MLS public remarks for your MLS. And I'll let you all read through that. I won't read it out loud, but this pretty much covered everything it needed. And this would be a great MLS public remarks for you to input your MLS listing that will be public facing to all your real estate related sites like Zillow, Trulia, Realtor.com, Homes.com. And then here, we need something that's a little bit shorter for Instagram or Zillow. So on the shortened version of your remarks in your MLS, plus if you're going to do some marketing on Instagram or Zillow, a fully reimagined Fletcher Hills Ranch where the renovation goes straight to the foundation, literally. Structurally engineered with a new roof, windows, electrical plumbing, HVAC, and a 2026 water heater, plus a remodeled kitchen, two fully updated bathrooms, and a reconfigured primary suite with a walk-in closet. New LVB floors, fresh drywall, two-car garage, and a private lot on a quiet street with easy access to I-8, State Route 125, and Grossmont Center. The three-bedroom, two-bath, 1,100 square feet for $895. Now, remember, when you're doing public-facing remarks on anything like Instagram, Facebook, um, TikTok, you always have to have the DRE compliant notes where you mention the name of the broker, which is KW Standard Metro, our DRE number, and then your DR number as well. So get used to when you get the Instagram shorts that you're going to post, make sure that you add that to anything that you do public facing. It's called first point of contact, a DRE rule. Whenever you do marketing or advertising to what's considered first point of contact, meaning someone that you're attempting to look at you as a real estate agent, you have to have Keller Williams San Diego Metro, that's the identifying broker, your license name, whatever that's licensed, and then your DRE number and our DRE number. And you would list it like that. You can do the list our DRE number and then a slash and then your DRE number. All right, any questions on that one? Okay, so let's go into the next.
Stuff had to be in the font no smaller than the smallest stuff. I didn't know.
Right. In a font no smaller than the smallest text in the post. That's the rule. The rule is California Business and Professional Code 10140.6. Otherwise, you get a little fine from the DRE, and I think the fine's $250. And of course, no, I'm not going to turn you in, but guess who will turn you in? Your competition. Let's go to the next prompt that I did. This one, a 30-day social media content calendar. You could do this once a month. And what I did was a 30-day content calendar, and I picked Savita in Mission Valley. And I picked Savita because this is where I live. Who's my specialty? Who's the target audience? What platforms do I want? Instagram, LinkedIn, and a weekly email. I didn't add Facebook. You could add Facebook, but I'm finding more and more and more people are getting much more play out of Instagram. And if you do a post to Instagram, it'll go over to Facebook. The message you send to LinkedIn is going to be different than when you post on Instagram. So remember, don't just do one and post it to all. Your platforms have different messaging you need to keep in mind. And let me go in and pull. And load that prompt. So I picked again a 30-day content calendar for Mission Valley, including Savita community and the Lido complex where I live now. What's my price range buyer between 750 and 1.8? Because I know that's pretty much the price range in that area that I want to deal in. And then I asked it for deliver a table with a date, platform, post type. Basically it's going to organize my social media for when I go post it. And then the weekly mix of market data, local lifestyle, buyer seller education, behind the scenes, client stories. Every post ends with a clear next step. That's a call to action, meaning anytime you post something, you always want to make sure there's a call to action. Whereas click here, reach out to me, book an appointment with me, no obligation consultation, click here. Who has a Calendly link set up in any of their posts that they do? Well, that's what I did on this one. I think I did. No, I didn't do it on this one.
Does Calendly cost money?
Not if you're using the the KW Google platform, your deliverables. So your KW email and your KW calendar, it has the ability to have the calendar appointment setting within there.
Okay.
So you can see as it's scrolling through, it's given me everything starting out. Wow. This just gave you 30 days of content that we're creating in less than 5 minutes. We're up to day 14 right now. How many of you struggle with what to post on social media? Well, this is your answer. These are your prompts. This is your calendar for 30 days. Create once using Metro AI, and you have your whole month planned out. That all you need to do then is calendar out what you're going to post each and every day. Now, remember, we've talked previously on GEO and SEO. SEO is search engine optimization, where in the past they used keywords to boost you up on the search profiles when people are searching for you on Google. Now we're in the age of AI, and it's called generative AI, GEO. Generative AI is what the AI platforms are looking for, that you're feeding content. So let's say people, I go back to the mid-century modern home because that's the easiest one for me to highlight right now. A mid-century modern home buyer or seller is looking for someone that's well versed in that. So everything, every content piece that I'm going to create is going to be about mid-century modern home, and that's what I'm going to put out on all the digital platforms like LinkedIn and Instagram and Facebook. So when people are out there looking for mid-century modern home content, the generative AI model is going to pick up on that because you're feeding all that information out there about mid-century modern home, and it's picking up on you. You can literally create a qualified inbound lead source by making sure you got your GEO content out there on what your specialty is. If you don't know your specialty, go back and listen to previous videos where we talked about how to create what is my specialty? What is my audience? Who do I need to talk to? That was a couple weeks ago. Might have been last week. Maybe it's 2 weeks ago or last week. But this thing's really going to town on this. It's still thinking. I didn't realize that this prompt would be one prompt that's going to take a while. Oh my gosh, we're only up to day 15. But it's got everything in here. Okay, let's go on. While it's doing that, I'm going to pull up the next prompt that I picked. So who does open houses? Show of hands. And please don't, Broker Bob could be blunt at times. Who sucks at their open house follow-up?
Sometimes.
Thank you, Stephanie, for your honesty. And it's the one thing I get it. We do the heavy lifting, we go out there to the open houses, we get names, and we don't follow up.
Mhm.
But remember, the fortune's in the follow-up, right? And if you had your smart plans implemented into command, it would be automated. You wouldn't need to think of it. So I did this one, an open house follow-up sequence. Um, how much time did I save? 45 minutes per open house. And I basically got a three email sequence in this open house follow-up sequence. Day one, which is the same night, day three, day seven. And I told it the tone. I want to be friendly, not salesy, under 120 words each, and give me subject lines that get opened. Let me repeat that. Give me subject lines that get opened.
That's huge.
It is huge. Again, that's the hook. And it's really kind of hard for us to come up with, subject lines that someone's going to get opened.
Mhm.
Here's a little trick that I found out. And I play it on you guys a lot. You probably don't know it as agents. If I really want you to open it in the subject line, I'll put RE because it looks like it's from a conversation that we already had. And so it's more than likely you might reopen it. I'm like, oh, did we talk about this previously? Or I'll trick in the subject line. It's really that key. So who's falling for Broker Bob's subject lines and open up any of my emails I send you? I know if you don't want to admit it, it's okay. I get it.
Don't we open everything that you send us?
No, because RDR, realtors don't read.
Oh, well, okay, I do.
All right, it's still following up with my 30-day. I didn't think about that this would take this much time, but you'll see what it looks like. And then the other one that we'll do, prompt 6, is a neighborhood market update, a monthly email to past clients or prospects. Time saved, 5 minutes instead of an hour.
He's talking about.
What was that, Nikki?
Oh, I was just saying what you're talking about. I was talking to Craig about command, about putting these in command, because we're
Oh,
not doing it this way, and this would save us a ton of time.
yeah. I like this one. Write a monthly market update email for my past clients and sphere in, pick the neighborhood and the zip code. Include one sentence on what the market is doing right now in plain English. 3 data points, median price sale, average days on market, list to sale price ratio, and you're going to insert some data, and then what this means for a buyer and for a seller, and a personal line invited them to reach out or refer a friend. Do it 250 words max, warm, informed tone, no jargon, and then sign off with my name, title, phone, and email. So let's go see how BrokerBot's doing on my. Okay, it's up to day 19. Okay, we're screwed. It's gonna take a while. And then let's see on the next one I did. Oh, here's a good one in there. Database re-engagement. Have you lost contact or touch with people? Write a re-engagement email I can send to contacts I haven't talked to in 6 to 12 months. Now, nobody on this call has done that with some of your leads, have you?
Never.
Never. Keep the tone warm, human, zero sales pressure, structure. Give me 3 subject line options that actually get opened. Opening that acknowledges it's been a while without being awkward. 1 paragraph of genuine value, a specific market insight for whatever your area of expertise is, that they can use whether or not they're moving. Do a soft ask. Invite a 1 sentence reply about how life is going, and then your signature. Keep it under 150 words. And this is about reopening the door, not closing a sale. So every one of these prompts that I've given you guys today, and just want to make sure on the call, did everybody get the prompts in the chat box? If you
Where do
arrived
we get
after it,
them?
what's that?
Where do we get the prompts?
Well, I put it in the chat box.
Can you do it again? Because I joined a few minutes late
Did you
and they're
join
not there.
late? Did you join late, doll?
I was making my phone calls. I
You were
had to get
making your
5
phone
in before I
calls.
joined.
All right, there you go,
Thank you.
slacker. It's in there.
You're the best.
So this is another. I'm glad this is happening. So sometimes it'll get stuck. So when you see it just sitting there, you got to go out. Did you get stuck? Where are you?
How many days did you ask it for?
30 days. So now it's mapping out week 4. Okay. So, but how long would it take you guys to create 30 days of content?
I
A
mean,
long time.
Yeah.
we just wouldn't do it.
Or you just wouldn't do it.
A month.
I mean, let's be real.
Well, I get it. It's time consuming. Who went to family reunion? Or who listened to Gary V's talk post family reunion that was on the YouTube page?
Yeah, he mentioned that too.
Yeah, he mentioned as an agent,
A
you
lot of
should be
things.
spending considerable time every day posting content to
Hmm.
get noticed online. Again, we've lost. This is no longer social media. We're calling it digital media. And the agents that are capturing market share are mastering digital media and using it to their benefit by making sure they get enough content out there. All right, it's going to go through and redo it again because it got stuck. Let's go review some of these other ones. Prompt 8, a buyer consultation prep sheet. Oh, that one's really good. And then prompt 9, your contract disclosure summaries in plain English. Time saved, 20 minutes per document. Teaching tip. BrokerBot knows our forms. ChatGPT does not. So what you could do, and we discussed this last week, let's say you have a listing and you need to, let's say you have a buyer and the seller has sent over their disclosure packet. You could upload that disclosure packet into BrokerBot and you can ask it to summarize it in plain English, what this document is and why they're signing it, the 5 most important things they need to understand, any deadlines or dollar amounts to pay attention to, and questions they should ask before signing. Now, this is a risk management, so let me put my broker Bob hat on. This is really good because a lot of times when we end up in a claim, what is it that I say that the principal says when they're suing us?
The agent never told me that.
Yep, your agent never told me that. So if you make sure on any disclosures, you do a summary before you just put the disclosures in their DocuSign to sign, this will show that you took the time to explain it. One of the habits I'd like you to get into, when I took my listing on Altamont, I would do a summary PDF of the listing agreement and send it over to the seller prior to them even selling. I said, here's my listing agreement. Here are the terms outlined in the listing agreement. Please let me know if you have any questions. Once you approve, I will send it out via DocuSign. You should do the same thing with the purchase agreement for a buyer. Do the purchase agreement, load it into BrokerBot, do a summary to send it to the buyer and say, here's a PDF copy of what you will be signing. Here's what the document says. Here's the 5 most important things you need to send out. And then send that in a summary to the buyer to say, here's the document. Let me know if you have any questions. If you don't have any questions, once I get approval, I will send it to DocuSign for you to sign. Because a lot of claims that end up when they start getting into the nitty gritty with the attorneys, the buyers say, well, I didn't really read it. I just was sent over in a DocuSign and I didn't really go through it. If you can have an email that shows um, that you said, yes, here's what you're signing, it's going to help with a claim so much better. Might not even end up in a claim because any attorney that will see it will say, it's going to be kind of hard to make a claim on that. Okay, here's your 30-day calendar. And basically, this is coming in, this is a table. So, in other words, think of it as a spreadsheet. So, each day it tells you what you're going to do. Day 1, Instagram Reel market data. Day 2, LinkedIn text post market data. Day 3, Instagram carousel lifestyle. Okay. So, it lays it all out and then it summarizes it. And then I don't see, so there's the table. Where is the post content? I'm afraid to ask it this question. Here it is. And now it's going to go through and give you all of your content. So the table would just be something for your reference if you want to upload it into like a Google Doc. Another thing I could do, let me show you this. Okay, I'm kind of afraid to do this, but I'm going to do this. So I'm up to day 11. So who on the call uses Canva, the KW? You all pretty, and do you guys know there's a broker bot Canva integration?
I did not know.
There is.
I did.
Yeah, because of Yvette, I know. So email me and I will forward you the replay of the KW Canva command integration because Yvette was kind enough to send that to me. And then you can see how to integrate it. And it's a really cool feature. And then when you go integrate it, basically you can create the content in BrokerBot, have it go into Canva with the templates, and then you can edit it in Canva. Because if you create digital content in BrokerBot, you can't edit it. But with the integration, now you can. Look at all this content.
It's extremely impressive.
Oh man, I mean, I wish I was young and starting real estate now. Be so much easier.
Yeah.
Back in the days, we had to place an ad in the San Diego Union Tribune just to promote our open house and pay 45 bucks just to do it for a Sunday.
Right.
I mean, I agree with Gary Vee. What he says is he says, you know, it's free. These platforms are free. You don't have to spend money on them. Okay. Here is my table. Import a calendar for each day. I don't need to cut it. Can you import the So remember that table I created up here?
Hmm.
You're like, okay, it's great. It's a table, but I work off of my calendar. If I didn't have my calendar, I'd be lost. So I'm going to take that and tell BrokerBot to create import the table into my Google Calendar with the 7 to 7:30 appointment for each day. Starting on May 1st, 2026. Because I have my Google Calendar set up as an integration,
Is there a video on how to do that too?
I'm going to walk you through it.
And where do we find the video to integrate to Canva?
I said email me,
Oh,
and I
okay.
will forward you the video that Yvette was kind enough to send to me.
Thank you, Yvette.
Let me go look and see if it started. No, it hasn't yet. Look. There's my first appointment. Okay, it's got the first one. Let's see. See it?
Mm-hmm.
Now, how do you do an integration in? You go over here to, let me see if I can open up another broker bot. So over here on the left-hand side where it says settings, and then up on the left-hand side at the top under profile, I click integrations. And in integrations, I have my Google Calendar and my Gmail connected, and I have KW Command connected. Now you won't see this Canva one there yet. They actually have to, you'll have to take the, watch the video first. And then once you watch it, I will let them know that you've watched it and you want it integrated. You could be in the beta group. But you won't see this in your Canva. You won't see this in integrations. But this is how I have all the Google Calendar and my Gmail and Command connected right under integrations. Okay? So how much time did I save by doing that? In less than 40 minutes, we've created my entire month of content. I've put it on my calendar. So each day I don't have to think. It just tells me what to do, and it's set up in my Google Calendar. I'm not going to do that one, but I will do. Remember the open house one? I'm going to see if I can do. So the open house one was actually draft the 3 email follow-up sequence for people who attended my open house. Let's see if I can push BrokerBot to its limits.
And this should probably get faster and faster as time goes on, right?
Yeah, I'm not gonna comment on that. I don't know.
I mean,
Because of
maybe.
it's getting better, but I don't know if it's gonna get faster when it's doing what I just did, the 30-day calendar. Uh,
Yeah, it still needs
it,
the same amount of time to think about it,
yeah.
process.
So it created your 3-day follow, three-part follow-up, send the same night. See this little dash right here?
Mm-hmm.
It's called an M dash. It's a dead giveaway that it's AI generated. Little secret on that is just say remove any M dashes.
Mm.
Well, I got rid of most of them. But here you go. Here's your, you could actually do this prior to your open house, set it up as a smart plan in KW Command. So let's say I'm trying to think of something. Who's using command to its fullest? Who's lost in using it to its fullest? It's okay. Okay. Let's say you don't even use command. Let's say, okay, I got my Gmail connected, I got my calendar connected. Stephanie, give me your email address.
Stephanie@grinnin.com.
Is that right?
Yeah.
So let's say that I'm not using command and I want a quick workaround and I just want to do the follow-up and I want to make sure that I, in advance do it. I mean, it's best to have this in command because then you can track it. But let's say I just want to send it through my email, right? So I'm going to have, since I just created all three of these, right? Keep them in drafts so I can send when I want to. You can actually just upload your entire list to say this, but because I have my KW connected, my KW email connected,
So are you saying that your KW email is connected to BrokerBot or to Command or both?
both.
And
My
is
KW
BrokerBot
email is
connected to
connected to
Command?
BrokerBot. And I have command connected as well.
Okay.
But in this example I'm showing you, I'm
Mhm.
only using my KW email.
Okay. So it behooves us to use that one.
Right, because the broker bot only speaks to your KW email. So let me go through and show you.
And if we
Oh
have a
my goodness.
personal Gmail, it leaves our personal email or Gmail out of it, and it just concentrates on the KW.
So
Email,
see
right?
those three follow-up emails I just created? They're sitting here in my drafts.
That is so cool.
So you don't even have to, again, you just save a good 30 minutes of drafting all those emails and saving them. So then you can go through each one of these emails, okay, but you're going to have to set a reminder, right? If you set up a smart plan in command, it could not be automated.
Can you go over to the little clock and just schedule it?
Yeah, you could. Can even do that. So if I want to send that to Stephanie, now you're gonna have to adjust. Well, it's got the, I mean, I would insert my, you can even actually have BrokerBot do that a little bit better. But remember it said, email them two listings as well. If you want to, you don't have to, but it's there and it's saved and it's able to go out. Okay. All right. Anybody have questions? And let's go back to the, so it's created all my stuff. Oh, I ran into the calendar. Okay, so it runs into snags.
But it's easy to catch the snags, correct?
Yeah, because it told you. It'll tell you.
Yeah, yeah.
So let's see if it finishes adding. So let's go back to my calendar. Yeah, it got all the way up to the 21st. It looks like it's adding all of them. Yeah, it is. So sometimes you have to go back and just say, it says, it'll tell you it ran into a snag like it says here, and just go ahead and say, try again. Okay?
Mhm.
All right, what'd you guys learn today?
So much.
You're awesome.
Dig dive
I'm not
into
awesome. I'm
command.
just the relayer of information.
Well, as a conveyor of information, you're awesome.
Appreciate it.
I love the follow-up, just the follow-up emails and having a list of things to, ideas to post and the verbiage behind it. I think it makes life so easy.
I like the idea of uploading the RPA and giving a summary to your clients.
Mm-hmm. Do you guys actually, before you have people DocuSign stuff, do you actually send them a PDF with a summary of what's in it?
Sometimes.
I send them
Sometimes.
a PDF so they can read it,
Right.
but having the summary, I think that just having them, like being able to upload the documents and summarize is huge. I mean,
Huge.
especially with the title report, which I don't always understand. I mean, and HOA docs, which are lengthy, and
Mhm.
I mean, I think that's a game changer.
There's a few
Absolutely.
things you should get in the habit of, especially when you're working with a buyer after your initial meeting. You should send them a PDF of a purchase agreement
Mm.
and say, when we go shopping for a home, this is the standard purchase agreement we will be using. Please take the time to read through it. If you have any questions, please ask. And then once you find properties and you're writing offers, once you write the offer, download it as a PDF and then send it to them with a summary of what's in it so that they know what they're signing. And then that will prohibit post-close claims from them saying, well, you never told me what I was signing. All right, you guys have all been great. Hope you learned something today,
Thank you.
and we'll see you
Thank
in the
you.
office.
Thank
Have a
you.
good one.